What's up, everyone? It is Anime Alex back again with another PvP discussion. I am here with my partner in crime and the person who I do 2v2s with, and he's my buddy. Welcome, AzureSky. You'll see him, or you normally see him on my streams and whatnot, so go check him out. His link to his Twitch will be in the description below. And with all that being said, I have already given my spiel about what I would want to see in a competitive scene or a competitive format of this lovely game in which we play. So I am going to let Sky give his opinions about it, and we will excuse me, we will also in another stream probably after this, we are going to essentially give our spiel and our predictions of Oroshi, Kieran, Soulseer, Elderfrost, but for now we are going to stick to competitive Monster Hunter discussions. And so without further ado, welcome AzureSky. Take it away with your points you want to make to follow up on my points.
So I've played both stories games, right? So I know the malice with stories too. I know the problems. What I think kind of makes me kind of mad is Azure Voltage and the Fire version,
Valiant Flare.
I just think them having like you can just do it first turn if you have can cost down. I think that's my main problem. The buffing move itself is like just strong, and there's like ways to counter it. I just don't like that you can just like turn one Valorant / Azure pet with like bonding XL charm / Bolt Reaver armor. Next turn, either switch out to save that Azure voltage, or just use a like cheap spread move and just completely just wipe the other's team, especially if both of you did it. Now there's ways to counter it. Example, sleeping, skill ceiling, but then like you can counter that with like either Panacea or like immune to that status specifically. And I just find it kind of suspect that you can just turn to have like 2 hearts down. That's my thing.
I guess to add on to your discussion, I do agree. It is completely, and I mean completely insane how I've brought back, and obviously you guys probably see it. If you haven't seen it, go check out the Twitch. Link is in the description. But I have literally brought back games with my Thunderlord just by pressing Azure Voltage and then Thunder Cracking after. It is without a doubt one of the most strongest and pretty busted things in the game, and I feel like the reason why it's really strong is because it gives you a power bonus on top of a elemental attack bonus, and they stack.
Yeah, medium. It gives medium for defense and that element attack. And then the thing that's busted about it is that they give you charge, and that's stupid because Diablos has charge, right? But then they're like, let's just put it on a move that also gives more damage in fire or thunder and just defense. So even if you're like a non-elementless monster and you want to use charge, just use Azure Voltage or Valiant Flare, because you also get the defense boost while having the charge.
Yeah, and people sleep on the defense boosts. Like, the reason why I will admit that I messed up on some of the percentages in my don't use the pump up video, use Merciless Roar, because pump up directly affects power and not elemental damage, and power is going to be stronger than elemental damage. But the problem with pump up is that you are either going to have to sacrifice one turn to do protective masks so you don't get the debuff from pump up, or you are going to or you have to run Panacea, which I mean you should be running Panacea obviously, but sometimes it won't proc on your pump up. And if you get that moderate defense down, it's big. Like, moderate defense down is no joke. You can get one-shotted from a very small thing, like a medium to light attack, just by having that moderate defense downs. I've seen it before. It is not... That is why I never suggest people to run pump up. And plus, yes, the damage numbers seem very cool because it's 70% damage, but honestly, you really don't need that 70% damage, because if you use Azure Voltage or Valiant Flare, the elemental attack stack on top of power literally makes you one-shot things, and then you have a defense bonus afterwards. It's a very stacked ability for 19 king cost or 15 king cost with king cost down up to, or king cost down XL up to. It's
24 normal, and like I forgot when.
No, it's 19. No, it's 19 normal.
No, it's 24.
No. Wait, are you talking about pump up? Because I'm talking about Valiant. Oh, yeah, of course, pump up. I was talking about Valiant Flare and.
I thought you were talking about pump up.
No.
I was like,
no.
Right.
But other than that, like, obviously, pump up is 24 normal and more expensive and a lot more dangerous. But people love to sleep on the defense bonus. The defense bonuses of Valiant Flare and Azure Voltage, respectfully, are insane. Like, you can tank so much. So many attacks on monsties. Like, I will say one of the slept on tankiest monsties in the game is definitely Thunderlord Zinogre with Azure Voltage slash Bolt Reaver, since they have essentially the same stat spread. They are deviant, so they have higher like elemental defenses, but Thunderlord and Bolt Reaver both have really high HP, and they could tank for days just by pressing one button. It's pretty insane when you think about it, and a lot of just frail monsties like Raijang and I guess Kirin to a lesser extent become really tanky. Yeah, become really, or not really tanky, but they become really decently tanky.
They can take an actual hit.
Yeah, like, they can take more hits, which is really crazy, because those are the two like the top two strongest thunder monsties in the game based on like their thunder attack power.
And to add on to some things you said, another way you can use pump up, well, one way you can is have a Renegade All Elements Hunting Horn, but the downside to that is that you're wasting around like 50 kinship
and a turn
it's better than 2 turns with Protective Mask, but like you're taking that whole turn and changing that into kinship points.
Yeah,
for 35 for with they get all elements, which that also buffs your teammates. But if you're going for pump up strats, then you have to see how much it costs, and that's like 50 or 40 around there if you have king cost on your pump up.
And I should take this time to mention about whatchamacallit. I should take this time to mention about Dragonclad. It like superseded me. Yes, Dragonclad is similar into how it works with raising up defenses and whatnot.
But instead of charge, it gives you crit.
Yeah, but instead of charge, it gives you crit.
Which, I don't know about you, but I don't think giving you crit makes it so it needs more kinship cost and charge in Valiant Flare and Azure.
But in respect, it's honestly just to benefit Stygian. Like, Dragonclad is literally made for Stygian and Dragon Palamute. It's Stygian's ability. It comes from Stygian.
There's like 0 dragon monsters, so
I know,
it's mostly Stygian because he's the only like He's like the best one.
Yeah, but Stygian, Zinogre, and Dragon Palamute are the only two monsties in the game that actually can use Dragon Clad effectively. Joe cannot really use it because his crit is just not high enough.
Not as high as the other
Yeah,
two.
he's more bulky and tanky, so that's
His
why
crit
they
is not,
gave.
it's not terrible though.
Yeah, it's not
Really.
terrible, but like compared to
If you
Stygian
didn't,
and
I
Dragon
mean, if you
Palamute.
just didn't want pump up, you would. But the Dragon Boost,
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
Dragon Clad.
But Dragon Clad.
Or fucking Dragon Voltage or
Dragon, I think it's what you said earlier. But yeah. I just still think it costing that much. I think so, but sus compared to Azure and Valorant.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, here's the thing. I do not foresee Capcom buffing and nerfing different genes. The only way I see that is if we get Monster Hunter Stories 3, and we're not getting that game until like the distant future. So
he definitely
when I was kind of bouncing back in my head, like, what should we do? Should if the community can come up with rules of 1 Elder Dragon, no Sonic Strikes in 2v2s, and like, what do we just go? No Valiant Flare, no Valiant Flare, no.
I feel like
no
with Valiant Flare, I think there's enough counters to like stop it. Like you can have a skill seal monster, you can sleep it, paralysis, hope for paralysis. You can hunting horn evade if you have the kinship. You can flash bomb it, hope for an evade. I think there's way more counterplay than like example Sonic Strike. Yeah, and also a small tangent. I don't think you really expressed how busted it is to have a Sonic Strike that is not part of the power, tech, and speed. Because
I was saving that for you.
yeah, because here's the thing. I did not know it existed until like a couple weeks after the game came out. And I saw Nerg use it. I'm like, wait a second. What is this move? I looked it up, and the only downside to it is that it does less damage than Sonic Strike. But like,
you're not using Sonic Strike for damage. You're not using Sonic Strike for damage, though. You're using Sonic Strike to get a heart.
Yeah, for example, like I think the damage drop off is like it's like rapid something. I'm gonna say rapid bite because I can't remember off the top of my head, but like rapid bite does like 80 damage to me. I remember, and like other monsters with like Sonic Strike power S were doing like 120, which is a decent amount. So that means like if you use Sonic Strike, it's like a little bit below half. You can kill a hunter or a rider, and with the rapid bites, you have to have them even lower. But like the rapid bites is just really strong because like there's literally nothing you can do.
Yeah,
that's a guaranteed heart. The Sonic Strike, you only have one option. Rapid bite, you take the L. Yeah, you can't do anything.
Yeah, I feel, and also to express it in 2v2s, two people can really just run rapid bite and then like always get hearts no matter what if they're at half. And it's really unfair, which is why I say Sonic Strike needs to be banned from 2v2s. It's stupidly unfair how you could just like get some kinship your first turn, and if you're whoever your monsties attack, if they're low enough, hey, you're just gonna rapid bite, or you can like coordinate it together where you could just rapid bite. And how much is rapid bite?
I'm just gonna assume it's the same lines as like Sonic Strike, where like maybe it costs more.
So 16 or 15.
It costs more than 15, but if you have King Cost down, it can cost less than 15.
Which you could just run King Cost down and just have a Sonic Striker in the back. Like you know how terrible the meta would be if everyone is required to basically have a Sonic Striker in 2v2s. Like you just have one dude in the back. Only meant for
Yeah.
Sonic Strike.
Yeah, like have Nerd or Diablos for
Bloodbath.
Sonic Strike.
Honestly,
Yeah, Bloodbath.
I might just trade up my Bloodbath just to do that.
Yeah, like rapid, like put it rapid bite, so they literally can't do anything, and like the very like damage doesn't matter when it's on like the highest non-elemental damage monster, and it still does good damage.
Yeah, this
Especially if he's buffed.
yeah, this is like one of the problems of nowadays Monster Hunter stories. Since in the first game there was unique, there was like
So there
unique.
was unique, so Azure wouldn't be like traded or something and stuff like that. But also another thing, the Sonic Strikes didn't exist at all.
Yeah, it's very
they
very
they were
true.
not there.
That is very
Uh,
true.
there was some like really broken stuff you could do though, but I don't know.
Such as
Skill Seal was even more devastating.
oh yeah,
Uh,
which
because
oh well
right now Skill Seal's everywhere.
oh yeah, I was about to say, do you want to get into that conversation right now? Going into the future of the metagame.
Oh yeah. I have this on deck. I know what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
So tomorrow night, right, or September 2nd, if you can't make it tomorrow night, there is gonna be an update where we get Soulseer Mizu, which we desperately needed. We were fiending for him. We needed
Uh,
another water
I
monster.
I also don't want to spoil. Wait. I'm not gonna spoil the data mines of it, but Soulseer is going to be, let's just say, really good.
All right, I think we all expected that. I don't think we need like confirmation. Then we're gonna get Elderfrost Gamma and Orochi Kirin. For me, I'm gonna obviously use my big Gamma dad Gamma because I love Gamma a lot. And if you just see normal Gamma stats and compare it to other monsters, she is a beefy woman. Like she rivals Kushal's defense elementally, but Kushala is just slightly bulkier because of Elder Dragon. But when Elderfrost comes out, yeah, she's gonna be like the hardest to kill in terms of stats.
She's going to be the tank of tanks.
The tanks of tanks, yeah, high recovery, high HP, high defenses, and decent attack. Like Gamma's attack already is like 4 boxes below max, so like that's at least gonna take up by 1 or 2, which is gonna be scary.
You know, it would have been really
But
scary if Elderfrost's ice attack is going to be maxed out and the
nah,
defenses are going to be
nah,
maxed out. But yeah,
it's gonna
it's going to
be
be 8 out of 10. I'm calling
it's
it
gonna be 8 or 7. I'm fine with 8 or 7,
8 or 7. I can
but
see it being 8.
yeah. But Elderfrost Gamma, it's gonna be really fun. We need more tanks. There's really not a lot because every tank can still just get ass blasted by Azure, Valorant, or just like a crit machine monster like Kieran or something like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like Gamoth could take some crits. I think the
Gammoth
only
has
problem with
taken, yeah, your Gammoth has taken crits in
yeah,
PvP.
well,
Like,
like
she's a
normal
tank.
Gamoth is taking crits, but Elderfrost is gonna actually absorb it. The only problem with Elderfrost is that she's got so much health that Mega Potions will be enough.
Oh
Heal
yeah,
her.
dude.
Heal him.
She's probably gonna have maxed out health. I can see her having maxed out HP.
I think Gamoth already has that. Maybe like could have may Elderfrost have slightly more. But going to the monster, I'm scared. I am trembling. That keeps me up at night. Oroshi Kirin.
Oh yeah, dude.
Now, if you don't know, what we've seen a bunch is that skill field is everywhere now, and it's really, really strong. It's like probably the second strongest next to sleep because sleep is like I feel like sleep and knockdown are the two strongest and they're like even because they do the exact same thing. It's just sleep is more common place than knockdown.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to Skill Seal in the first stories game was like even more broken because what it did is Skill Sealed for 3 turns, and in Stories 2 is for 2 turns, right? So it's a bit more balanced. So you basically either get 2 turns of your monster, not you get 1 turn of like monster doing nothing if the monster was skill seal you first, and you did like a monster skill, and that means you just skipped your turn basically. And then the second, you'll just do a power speed attack. But what I'm fearing is that Orochi Kirin now it's gonna be the best skill seal in the game because the pounded dog, was really slept on until like I really noticed. I'm like, dang, that's actually a good dog because first turn skill seal because it's the fastest monster now. And
Fastest
ice
ice
second skill
monster.
seal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the good thing about the pounding is like he was kind of weak, frail. Didn't do that big damage. But now Daddy Orochi is gonna show up. It's like, hey, I got the damage. And I still got the speed.
I got the damage.
So
I got the speed. I got the bulk. You
I
can't
got the
trap me.
bulk.
You can't trap me
You
because
can't
I'm.
trap. That's another thing. You can't trap Orochi either.
Yeah, because at
Like,
least no, because I've countered Ice Palamute. Not to cut you off, but I've countered Ice Palamutes trying to spam out Ice Cyclone by putting down the trap.
traps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
about I think it's Pitfall Trap.
it's Pitfall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I put down a Pitfall Trap and I've stopped them from spamming out Ice Cyclone, and that's like a really good counter if you're a strategist, by the way, to stop Ice Palamutes. But
Yeah.
Orochi Kirin,
He's
get
like,
ready to
nah.
be outsped and icicled first turn. And then on top of that, while you're icicled and you're skill sealed by Orochi, the worst is yet to come, because we all know Oroshi's stats are basically going to be the same exact stats of normal Kirin's. So he's like, going to be so
ice.
Depending on what they give him or what new genes they give him, they'll probably give him like a new ice physical attack for
what I'm
critting.
predicting is that like he's gonna have like ice horn, right?
Yeah,
he uses his horn to attack, and maybe that has a high crit. Maybe that has a crit chance.
I don't think high. I mean, I could see high
just
crit
like
chance.
Just a crit chance, not high, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
as a
but
crit chance.
I was thinking like high chance of seal skill, like it's burning tail from
Burning
Glavenus.
tail, like.
God,
yeah.
Could you imagine that? Oh, hey, I can choose whoever I don't want after like I icicle. Yeah, after I icicle, whoever doesn't have skill seal becomes skill sealed the next turn.
For me, what I'm more scared about is that the thing about Ice Cyclone and Icicle is that with Ice Cyclone, it hits everybody, but it's a low skill seal. Mm-hmm. Icicle is more used because it's like guaranteed.
It's high chance.
There's a chance that you can like miss a dude, just like because what it is, it's 5 attacks that randomly hit people. Oh. So you can like just miss like a person.
Yeah.
You can miss 2 people, but like that's like super rare. You'll at least hit 3 people if you icicle, and maybe you'll skill shield because that's medium. But all I'm scared is that Oroshi's gonna have like a speed move, right? That's just better than Ice Cyclone, where like it does, because Ice Cyclone does medium damage and medium skill seal. I'm scared Oroshi's gonna have medium damage and medium skill seal. It's just gonna be super strong.
Yeah.
And if that comes to existence, I just hope King Cost down doesn't make it below 15.
And I don't think we're also forgetting a really big thing. That also means Sonic Strike T, which is the cheapest Sonic Strike, will be used on Orochi Kirin's. And that also means Orochi Kirin can crit with that. And Orochi Kirin has one of the highest crit chances out of all the ice monsters, tied with Kushala, surprisingly. But
Kushala has high crit for no reason.
So I feel like this is the Orochi Kirin build. Icicle, ice, like kinship skill plus, your choice of like Panacea or skill seal, whatever you want to do.
Personally, I wouldn't like put Panacea because skill seal is your way of stopping statuses.
I know
that only works on like Mossy and stuff like that. Hunters can run either weapons or strategists.
I mean, that's
still seal fee.
I mean, that's fair, but you'll have. But I'm saying like, skill seal will be good because it's an ice. It's an ice gene, and you'll get you'll get prevented skill seal. You'll probably still run Panacea just to avoid other statuses, so you don't have to build into like sleep resistance and paralysis resistance. You're gonna have Icicle. You're probably gonna have Oroshi's new move, which is gonna be a speed move. You're pretty much gonna have Sonic Strike, and you're gonna have like I was gonna say Revenge, or like Heroics into Revenge. Yeah, Heroics into Revenge. Drill.
Revenge.
Ice Drill, but that's also a speed attack, so I don't know
feel like
which
if
one.
you want Vengeful Ice Drill, you would go to Elderfrost. Orochi is like...
That's fair.
Orochi is more like, I'm doing damage now,
Yeah.
and Elderfrost is the
that's fair.
Actor.
Also, you're going to put Dancer on Orochi. That's like not even a choice. You don't have a choice. You're just going to put Dancer on Orochi and be the fastest thing on the field just so you can get off your skill seal. It's going to be very stupid. And I don't like the thought of Orochi Kieran being in the game, or being in the game in this way.
Context.
In this context,
in
because
competitive context.
In competitive context, obviously.
Just like normally, Orochi Kieran is fucking badass. I love it. Cool color scheme.
Yeah, same.
I find personally it's equal to Kieran, but it's still really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But like competitively, we're obviously terrifying.
Oh yeah.
My problem is that we will have to run a fire monster. We have like Teostra or something, but then they're gonna have Mizutsune to counter our Teostras, and yeah.
It's not even just that. You have Teostra, you have Mizutsune, you have like Hellblade. Like the only two good fire monsties, which I know you want to say water monsties get cucked, which is true. They do get very, very underutilized, and the only good water monstie will be Soulseer. My problem,
I can still see Palmute being used personally,
and in like water Palmute. But my thing about it is, I would say ice monsties have more representation than fire monsties in metagame. And I know that sounds weird, but think about it. The only fire monsties that are getting used is Hellblade and Teostra. Maybe you'll run into a Dread Queen, but most Dread Queens just go either Elementless just to get out toxic sweeps, or if they do go fire, they're like bulky or tanky. I mean, I've seen a Black Gravios every now and again, but you really don't see it like that. It's mainly just Teostras.
And I'm the only representative of Ratha.
Yeah. And you're the only representative of Ratha.
And Ratha is still a good fire monster simply because he has a niche that no one else has.
And that's Solar Cry. But the problem is, there's no fire speed monsties. There's no fire tech monsties. Yes.
No, Raytheon. Raytheon is fire speed.
Oh yeah,
it's a fire tech.
Dread Queen.
Tech we have none of.
Dread Queen. Yeah, Dread Queen Raytheon is like the only fire speed monstie that's like viable at a high level metagame, because it's a deviant and it's the bulkiest fire type, I believe.
And it's fast. I think it's fastest too. I think it's faster than Teostra and
Teostra and Glavenus are both at 11s, and I believe Raytheon's at a 12, and Raytheon has the same amount of bulk as Hellblade, but with having like 2 ticks in the fire, so not as strong as Hellblade, but faster and bulky as Hellblade, which it fits her own niche. But tech fire monsties, definitely we do not have any in the metagame, because the only tech fire monstie we do have are Yin Garuga, which is way too low. We would need not Scardian Yin Garuga, but we would need like Deadeye Yin Garuga, and I do not believe they will give us Deadeye, since we have Dread Queen and they do basically the same thing.
Basically do the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, and we have Ash Ketchawacha, and
no one's using
no one's using Ash Ketchawacha, so
in a competitive way, you can use it if you want.
And you know, I would hold out hope for a tech Dread King being tech, but I doubt that.
Oh,
Dread
no.
King is
Power.
defo going to be power, and then Silverlos is definitely going to be power. So,
Yeah.
but that's for another topic, another time. But I believe we covered everything that we were going to speak about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I feel like
yeah.
that's so. And then we can do another debate once the three monsters actually come out.
Yeah. Well, with all that being said, thank you all for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Check us out on twitch.tv/animealex and go check over AzureSky on twitch.tv at twitch.tv or twitch.tv/AzureSky. With all that being said, see you in the next one. Catch you later. Peace out, my weebs and weepettes.